75 years of SABC News, and right now standing in the nerve center of the newsroom. This is where the magic happens, as they say. And as you can see, the agenda team is already here getting ready for what's to come your way between 9 and midday. So this, of course, is where all the SABC reporters, journalists would come, and they would come here and create and collate their stories. And so many of the people will come in for the different shifts and take their seat at one of these desks over here. And so many have come through these very corridors over the years. You know, I look to my right and I see all of the clocks, and this, of course, to keep time so that when we have to, Ayanda Nyati saying hi there to us. And, those clocks are so important because you need to know what time it is at any time of day. When there's a breaking story in Sao Paulo, we can see what time of day it is and know what to do, who to speak to. So all of that happening here in the nerve center of the newsroom at SABC News. But of course, over the years, there are people without whom the story of SABC at 75 simply cannot be told. A guy is here. He's part of the Morning Live team as we make our way to, I say, the lady of the moment, because how do we tell the story of SABC News at 75 without our SABC News International Editor, Sophie Mokoena? Mokoena, good morning.
Good morning, Leanne. How are you?
Now I'm Leanne.
Sakina, because
you see,
I've been watching Leanne on air.
You see, the nerves, they never go away, do they?
They don't. They
never go away. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Miss Sophie, we are celebrating today, and thank you so much, South Africa, for celebrating with us. It's been absolutely fabulous, and we've loved it. But you have been there, and for some of the most salient moments in our history, punctuating it with your storytelling and capturing of those moments. Let's talk about how it all started for you.
Well, a countryside girl, and came to be a anchor at what was called Sesotho Stereo, now Lesedi FM, doing a morning current affairs. It was not common during that time, just post-elections, 1994, for a black woman to do a current affairs in the morning. And I worked there, and when I started, I think our listenership was around 700,000. When I left, we were almost 2 million. And from there, I went to Parliament to report in Parliament as a parliamentary correspondent. Then Vuyomvogo, when he became the political editor, I asked him to bring me back to Johannesburg, and then I came here in Johannesburg at the politics team, and one assignment that he gave me was that I must follow Mandela in retirement and try and collect all his archive and his stories. So, and then later, I can't divulge that. Maybe when I write a book, I'll be free. What happened? But then I had to apply to be an international news editor, and this is where I am.
And I think for many of our viewers, this is where they really remember you from, when you were doing all of those international stories. And there were so many of them over the years, Sophie, and so many critical ones. We talk about elections, not just here at home, but abroad. Some of the changing moments in history you were there for. We talk about African continent, and you at the time with President Mbeki. Talk to us about what stood out for you during that time and some of the more critical stories that you covered.
Well, I want to start with Madiba. When I was covering Madiba, it was such a fulfilling moment because I would travel with Madiba in a Falcon 500, that is the Defence Force plane, to countryside. And when we were supposed to go, Madiba will rock here at the SABC, and then the black cars, and then the security will call me, hey, you have a guest. What guest now? And then when I go to the foyer, to the lifts, oh, Madiba, what do you want here? No, I'm coming to see you. And then would put get into an office. My boss will make the office available. We talk, and then the parting shot will be, don't forget, tomorrow you must be at Waterkloof at 6 a.m. We are going to Eastern Cape to hand over a school. I'll be there 6 o'clock. He's going to come at 9. Now I'm sulking because I've been there early in the morning. And then when we are about to leave, then I get into a plane and I'll go right at the back. I don't want to talk to my Madiba, and then I take a blanket. And then when he comes in, he's the last to board the plane. Zeldina, where is Sophie? Tata Sophie's here. She's here. And then when I leave, when we get to the place, and then I do my work, we come back. Sometimes I'll get a call. I'm sitting, I'm working. They are looking for you. It's secure reception. Hello. Good morning. Is that Miss Sophie Mokoena? Yes, this is Sophie Mokoena. Tata Mandela would like to talk to you. That again calling one. No, don't forget, tomorrow we are going to Mpumalanga. And and then the last important issue is when he had a birthday in Eastern Cape, in Kunu. He insisted that I go down. I went down, and it was a memorable birthday. That's when he was surrounded by Mam Grasha and Mam Winnie, those famous visuals. I'm there, I'm working, and somebody comes and says, Tata wants you to come and sit next to him at the table. And I'm like, I'm working, I'm writing a script, it's lunch. And then a colleague or a friend of mine in terms of the industry, Muiponi Malfani, says to me, she was working for the Star newspaper, go and sit next to him, Sophie, just 5 minutes. Then I went there, and you can see in the picture, I'm like a naughty child. I'm looking, because I want to stand up and leave, And then after 5 minutes or few minutes, then I go back to my seat and I'm busy scripting. So he was very, very close. And then the other one, it's of course then covering the former President Thabo Mbeki when he was campaigning, when I was in Parliament, and the first campaign in 1999, when he was launching the manifesto of the ANC. I was supposed to report about what he said, but when I went back to the office, I told my editor at that time, Anki Kroch, that, you know what, I understand the speech, but for me, the body language is the story. And then she said to me, write the script the way you want to write it. That was the first time where we got a glimpse of how he behaves with ordinary people speaking in Xhosa. So I wrote about the character, this Sussex University aloof guy. This is how I saw him when he's launching the manifesto. He is going to campaign for the ANC in 1999. And then, of course, his recall. I had to coordinate the coverage because I was acting political editor. And a moment where you are documenting, you are coordinating a big historic story, but your mind is so glued or captivated with the story, not understanding this is going to be a big story. And when he came in, he had very few security. It was only Smuts Ngonyama that spoke to, at that moment, before he read that statement, Mbeki was ready that he's going to be now a retired president. Took him to the makeup. I'm confused what to do. And I say, Mr. President, hey, tough times. Says, no, it will be fine. It will be fine. Then we took him into the studio. He rehearsed once, then read, then he's done. He leaves. He's not the president anymore. So, those important moments. And the other one, former President Jacob Zuma, the rape trial, I coordinated the coverage of the rape trial. I was acting political editor. And when he was found not guilty, he was acquitted, he had a briefing somewhere. And I said to people who were around him, the national broadcaster is bigger. I think he must come to the SABC. And then he did. He came, and I did a short interview with him in studio. He was quite happy. And then, of course, the others, President Ramaphosa, many times, even last week, at the moment where the country was grappling with this issue of Mokwena's. And I could see again the body language that this was weighing heavily on him. And I was not surprised when he used the words such as this matter is serious, and announcement of the commission, people can differ. But I'm trying to say, even when Begi lost 5 provincial conferences towards Polokwane, I insisted that I want to speak to him because I also covered the ANC a lot. I wanted to find out, is he still soldiering on? Because when you lose 5 provinces, the writing is on the wall. So I went to Union Buildings. For the first time, he didn't go to Lutula House on that Monday. He was at the Union Buildings. For me, that was an indication even there that he had accepted, you know. And then I asked him, the writing is on the wall. Are you soldiering on? He said, yes. But I said, but the numbers are not on your side. And then he said, no. Those who have decided that I contest, I will honor the nomination. So in other words, he was aware that he was not going to win. And then the other important story, I think, it's covering COVID. That was international story, massive one. And then Mugabe, the fall of Mugabe, and the exclusive interview I got with Mugabe, sneaking into Zim, quickly doing that interview and sending it quickly because I was scared that they will intercept the material. And then the other one, Gaddafi, Dostop Gaddafi in Durban, where he was a bit problematic ahead of the launch of the AU, got that soundbite. Madiba also during the World Cup bid in Zurich, that moment after we have won a World Cup, where that he made very profound and historic soundbite. Now I can see my grave, but he was able to live to see the 2010. And you know, Sakina, I don't know where to start. Elections on the continent.
The first female president in Namibia.
First female president in Namibia. Trump, when he came into power 2016, I was in the US supporting Sherwin and Aaron, covering the election. In fact, I predicted at some point in time at the gathering ahead of that elections, and everybody was laughing at me, that Trump was going to beat Hillary. And
I remember that. I remember you were
there.
I remember that. You were so adamant. And I said, listen to Sophie.
Yes.
Sophie's been around. She knows a thing or two.
Even now, I predicted, you know, that he will come back. So I think historic moments, you know, in Tanzania, the elections, even broadcasting in Morogoro with Vuyomvogo, Brabol and them, and then Sarah Kimani covering the Pope, you know, the state visit of the Pope in Uganda, covering Obama's state visit in Kenya. The Mandela lectures, most of them, I was there, including Thabo Mbeki annual lectures. You know, that when you go to the SABC archives, you will see that we documented many historic moments. And that is why I always like to stay. And when I'm in the archives, they know archives. I like to do stories. And when I'm in the archives, they know people who help me. Like today, I'm putting together a Mandela piece. So I'm going to go to the archives, and I know I'm going to be a nuisance.
Well, we can't tell the story of SABC News without our institutional memory personified in Sophie Mokoena. And she is, of course, a mentor figure.
Malema.
Oh, when he was recalled?
When he was fired.
Yes.
I was going home. I got a call. When I got a call, it's the Youth League. They want to talk to me, Makaka and them. And they were so distraught, and they were saying, hey, Ma'am Sophie, can you just speak to the ANC leadership? They can suspend us, but not take our membership or expel us. That's when they went to Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. they were distraught. They were distraught. So I've seen it all, maybe.
And I must say, it's been such an honor being with you for a part of that time, Sis Sophie, because, you know, institutional memory is so important, and the stories you tell.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that book. And maybe I'll even have the honor of doing the documentary of Sophie Mokoena, because those stories are absolutely, absolutely everything.
No, it's amazing. And I mean, one comment that I just have to say before we move on is, I remember somebody talking to me and saying, you know, when is Mum Sophie going to hand over this knowledge to us? And I'm like, I just looked at this young person and I said, nobody hands that over. This is learnt.
Yes.
This is hard. Every second
You
of everyday
listen,
learning. And
you look.
We want to thank you. We want to thank you for 31 years of service. In this industry, you never get thanked. Yes. We have a very special little gift for you that we've put together. I hope you like it. We love it. This is for you. It's for what you've done. It's your service. This is an artist named Enoch. And Enoch, we called him and we said to him, we need to remember an icon, and we need to do it in the best possible way. So, yes. Enoch, when we gave you this photograph and you did what you did, how did it feel to be painting somebody who you are now handing this over to?
No, it was good to be part of this history, because this is the day that I'll also remember for the rest of my life, that I'm honoring a legend. So from me and SABC to you, we want to present this to you.
The scarf, the silk scarf, the brooch. Enoch, you nailed it.
Enoch, absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sophie, Enoch is one of the most talented artists that we have. He's up and coming. He's from Sasolburg. He overcame challenges.
My home province.
My home province. He lost his parents at a very, very young age, and he has discovered his passion for drawing in grade 6, honed his skills, and here he is giving back to you, and we can't find a more appropriate way to celebrate you.
Thank you, and thank you to the SABC. Thank you to South Africa. Thank you.
And of course, we brought your son, because what would it be? What would the celebration be without him?
Thank you so much to the SABC, and thank you, Mommy, for serving the nation with integrity and credibility.
Yes. And you, of course, are now taking over from there. Megan Luca, our executive producer here on Morning Live.
Sophie Mokiena, 31 of 89 years of the SABC, but 75 years of SABC News. We all are learning every day, and if everyone in South Africa had the same work ethic that you do, we would produce the best results, and we are. We're still SABC, and we hope we've taken people down memory lane. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of the Morning Live team, but Sophie, we couldn't close out. This is just something small. One of our staff members,
Hold your mother's
Bulletin editor's wife, made this.
Thank you.
We wish everybody well.
Thank you. Thank you to the entire team. Thank you to South Africa. Thank you to the African continent, my home, and thanks to the world.
Sophie,
and this isn't the end.
Not at all.
This is not
we
the end,
thank
Sophie.
you. 31 not out.